Good morning to everyone, and welcome to Access at 9. Thank God it's Friday again, so we have the every Friday webinar. My name is Christian Pfaffli. I'm working for Access Nordic Sales, and I'm especially thrilled of today's topic. It's designing intelligent systems with Access cameras and Raytec IP lighting. And we have a presenter today who is Mr. Declan Clark, Sales Executive from Raytec. Declan, are you ready to take the show?
I am, Christian. I'm good to go.
Good.
Oh, okay, good stuff. Right, hello everybody. It's nice to see so many of you guys logged in. Recognize some names there, so and also quite a few new names as well, so that's good for me. So yeah, as Christian said, my name is Declan, or Dec, whichever is easiest for you guys, and I am the territory manager for the Nordic territories. So I look after the Nordic territories of Raytec and also the Benelux region as well, so a lot of Northern Europe. So just to let you know, we're going to do a presentation today looking at Raytec technology, in particular with Access and especially some of the new features and some of the new technology that we've recently released, and how these two technologies, these two great brands in the security industry, work very well together. So it should take about 30 minutes, 35 minutes, and there will be time for some questions at the end. Or if you have any questions through the presentation, please use the function at the side to type me out a question, and I'll try to get back to it as quickly as possible. Okay, let's get started. So yeah, we're going to cover the need for lighting. So why is lighting so important in video surveillance? We're going to look at some examples of infrared and white light. So these are the two main types of lighting you will use in video surveillance applications, and in particular with Access technology, Access cameras. We look at some lighting for different kinds of cameras and the things to consider. We will look one of the main things of the presentation is to look at our network functionality. So Raytec have recently launched some IP controllable lighting and its integration with Access ACAP, and then we will look at some of the Raytec resources available to all of you guys as well. So first of all, just for any of you guys who don't know who Raytec are, just a brief introduction. Raytec, we are the lighting specialists. We're the world leader in LED lighting for safety and security. Lighting is all we do. We do not get involved in any of that technology in terms of in the security industry, so we just do lighting. We've got guys at Raytec that have been working in lighting for 30, 40 years, so it's all we know, it's all we do, and this is what we strive to improve within the security and the safety market. Everything we do is designed and manufactured in the UK. So we have a team in the UK of about 70 people at the moment. So that's everything from manufacturing, production, technical. So all the products are designed here. And we also have our sales and marketing and management are all done in the UK as well. But we also have an office in North America, and we also have representatives on the ground in Germany, China, Japan, and hopefully soon to be Australia again as well. So the team is growing very quickly. We like to think that we have a lighting choice for any application. So Raytec have over 700 different variants of products when you start to break down into different power options, different angles of illuminators. So regardless of your application, we'd like to think that we have something that can suit you or work on a solution that will be suitable for your project. So that's infrared, that's white light, that's hybrid solutions, a mix of both, or whether it's hazardous area lighting for oil and gas, that kind of thing and stuff as well. So we have lots of different choices, so always feel free. If you can't find what you're looking for, please speak to us and we may have something that's suitable for you guys. So pretty much every presentation we ever do, we will always focus on this slide and why lighting is important to CCTV or video surveillance, however you call it. So first of all cameras need light to see. We'll focus a little bit later on low light, but all cameras, even these fantastic low light cameras like Lightfinder, they still need some light to see. So as I'm sure all of you guys will be well aware, most crime occurs during the dark. It's pretty obvious. A statistic I read a few weeks ago, 1 in 4 Americans are scared to walk at night due to fear of crime or being attacked. and a lot of that's down to fear of the dark. Street lighting is simply not good enough. You can see on these images here, so on this left-hand side image, you can see in the reflection of the window the street lights, and we've got a security camera facing the front of the building. You simply, by adding a very small Raytec white light unit, a Raylux 25 I think this was, which is only about 40 watts of power, you see that you can pick up a lot more information. So there is a grass area here, the entrance to the building is here, the building is blue, so pick up lots of information that you wouldn't by using street light. We have a big problem in the UK of these older sodium street lights. They're very orange glow and they're not great for security cameras. To provide evidence, so to stand up in court, whether that's you need to identify a vehicle, or if you need to identify the way someone looks, the color of a jacket, the color of their hair, whether there was numbers of people. So just to provide evidence in court, lighting is critical, especially in the evening. And as a rule, IP and megapixel cameras, so they're getting better and better. We've got HD, we've got 4K. As a rule, these are they need more light to see. So yes, they perform brilliantly during the daytime. You get fantastic pictures, but when it gets to the evening, they do need more light to perform. So if you're spending lots of money on these expensive high-end cameras, then you need to support them so you can still achieve good images at night. So we've looked at the need for lighting and why you need lighting. So then you have to look at what kind of lighting are you going to use. So we'll look a little bit at infrared. So this is an example of an infrared application. This is a power station in the UK. So this is Raytec lighting with access cameras, as you can see. So where you would use infrared is great for covert surveillance. So where you don't want someone to know they're being watched, or you don't want to light up an area, or light pollution is an issue, as it's invisible to the human eye, or almost invisible to the human eye. It's great for long range, long distance. I'll show you some examples in a second. It works, infrared works obviously with black and white cameras or day and night cameras. And it's very popular in kind of applications for military, police, critical infrastructure, where obviously these guys don't want people to know that they're being watched. So I'll have some examples. So this is an airfield. I'll show you this video a little bit later on, but obviously this is very long range. So the tree line at the back of the image, this is 250 meters. You can see my colleague John at the front of the scene, my colleague Lee standing next to a car, some aeroplanes. So you can see this is pitch black for them. They would not know. You cannot see anything else on this scene with no light. We'll show you an example in a second of infrared on and infrared off. Again, this is a very wide angle scene, again with an Axis dome camera. So multiple targets on scene, spread across a very wide area, but you see the pictures are very crisp, very clear. And then we'll show you an example here. This is my colleague Gregor on a golf course. Hopefully it will play. So yeah, this is over 250 meters, so that's no infrared switched on with the Axis camera. And then when you switch it on, you see a massive difference to the picture. So as Gregor walks closer towards the scene. So like you say, it's very, very long range, very, very good pictures. Again, this is with an Axis camera. So if anyone has any questions on which Axis cameras or anything are with these, please let me know and I can provide you the details after the video, after the presentation, sorry. So yeah, great for long range surveillance, great for covert surveillance where someone doesn't know they're being watched. The other option we have, which is becoming increasingly popular in the security industry, is white light. So white light, when we first launched Raytec, was seen more as for general area illumination. But we're now seeing more cases of people using white light with CCTV. So people are spending a lot of money on color cameras. So they're getting great color pictures during the day, but they want to get the same during the night. So white light is great for color pictures. White light is great for general area illumination, so to make an area feel safer. And it's also fantastic as a visual deterrent. So one of the main benefits of LED lighting is that it's instant strike. So when you turn it on, it doesn't have a warm-up period. So white light is great to kind of turn on or trigger on, whether it's by Axis camera, whether it's by a PIR detector, and scare people away from the scene or let somebody know that they're being watched. So it's very bright, and you definitely know that you're being watched when a white light turns on. So as I mentioned before, this is with a low light access low light camera. So this is with a small Raytec white light. So white light is great for things like picking up the color. So this gentleman has a blue jacket on. He also has a bunny mask on. I'm not quite sure why. But yeah, this is we did this with Axis in South Africa. We did some testing on a golf course. So yeah, you see lots of detail to be picked up using white light rather than just using infrared. We'll do another example again. So this is the same scene that we showed before under infrared, but you see using white light you get a totally different picture. This is me standing in the blue jacket with the yellow hat. It's my colleague Lauren. She has purple jeans on. You see that the guys are wearing dark clothing. So you can pick up lots of information by using white light for CCTV. And this is another example showing a video. This is again with an Axis camera. This light is actually only spec'd up to 150 meters, but you see with a good camera, this is well over 200 meters, and it kind of replicates perfectly almost a perimeter fence line scenario. So looking down the line, and you can see how good the pictures are with light and without light. So once you've decided what illumination you want, whether it's infrared or white light, it's very important that, so you've got your camera, you've got your lens, it's important that you match up your camera with your you match up your illuminator, your LED illuminator with your camera. So you see these examples here. So when we get it too narrow, there's a big hot streak down the image, or if it's too wide, you don't get enough punch to the end of the image, so you can see these targets aren't illuminated enough. If you simply don't get a powerful enough illuminator, you'll kind of see, you might be able to make out that there's a target on scene, but it's not clear, there's no clarity to the image. So you need to get it right. You need to make sure you've got a powerful enough illuminator and make sure that the angle is correct. So if you have a wide angle camera, make sure you pick up a wide angle illuminator, and vice versa with a narrow lens, so like looking down a perimeter fence line, or a box camera that's looking at something very long distance, that might be a long range illuminator might be perfect for that. So you see the image is nice and illuminated across the scene. So perfect example, let's look at a couple of different kinds of camera models. So this is the airfield testing that we did with Axis. This is with our panoramic range. So this is one light, one camera. So you'll see we did some license plate capture up to 150 meters. So when you've got a high-end powerful camera that can zoom in to distances like this, you need a lot of light to still maintain good pictures at night. So you see this is panning across. This is one illuminator with one camera moving across. So this is 180 degrees in this case, but obviously we can also do 360 as well if you go back to back. So it's very important to consider, if you are using a dome camera, to pick or select a light that is suitable for this. And we have several illuminators within our range, infrared and white light, that are specifically designed to cover 180 degrees, or if you mount them back to back, cover 360 degrees. So you see when this pans around here, still only using one camera, one light. Equally, this is an example of an Axis camera feature corridor format. So if you, obviously a lot of the time this will be used internally, but we have tested this externally. So if someone was using this down a narrow field of view, like I say, perimeter fence line, walkway, something like that, pick a narrow angle illuminator that's going to illuminate all the way down the scene, so you can see all the way up into the distance of these images here. So we've got an infrared example and we've got a white light example too. So I mentioned it briefly before, but lighting with low light technology. So like I said, it's excellent technology. We fully agree that but what it allows you to do is it allows you to be more clever with your light, more cost effective with your lighting. So it doesn't create light, it still needs some light to support it. So you can use less light, you can be more cost effective, more energy efficient. You can use smaller units for the same application that you would maybe use 5-10 years ago, as the camera technology is developed. And additionally, sometimes with the low light technology, depending on the scene, you may get noisy images, which obviously increases your bandwidth and storage. Adding illumination to any scene Any scene with lots of noise will improve the noise in the image, which will make it better. For your bandwidth and storage will lower them both. And another thing that's not on that list as well, by adding extra illumination and giving the camera the perfect images that it needs at night, you will also allow things like analytics to work effectively during the evening and stuff as well. So I'm just going to briefly look at some of the technology that Raytec have that allow you to be a bit more clever with your lighting, and that have kind of been specifically designed not only to save installation time, save costs when you're setting up, but also to help alongside a camera. So Vario is our biggest product range, our highest selling product range, and we launched this range about 3 years ago, and this was designed with some specific features targeted to improve your camera performance, but also, like I say, the installation and maintenance of the unit as well. So 4 key features that we'll look at: interchangeable lenses, hotspot reduction technology, remote control, and the status indicator. The interchangeable lenses, so these are basically, this allows you to change the spread of light. So I spoke before about the spread of light compared to the angle, to the lens of the camera. So this allows you to change the spread of light very quickly on scene. So a lot of other illuminators on the market, if you pick your illuminator, you are set at a fixed angle, and there's nothing you can do once you've purchased that. If it's too narrow, you've got to send it back and get a new one, or if the camera scene changes or something happens, then you're stuck with the angle of illumination. With Vario, it allows you to slide the lens in and out very easy, and this lens technology has been designed to help the camera. So this is what we use as our hotspot reduction technology. So we have videos of this on our website, but basically what this lens technology does is it spreads the light nice and smoothly, which means that you get no overexposure hotspots like you sometimes do when using infrared or white light. So when a target approaches near towards the scene, you will sometimes see them white out. So this lens technology helps diffuse the light and spread it so that it means you don't get any of that overexposure. So like I say, out of the box with a Vario, you get a 10-degree option with no lens, you get a 35-degree option pre-fitted, and then you also get a 60-degree lens in the box. So that'll cover about 95% of Raytec applications, but we also offer wider lens angles as well. So we have an 80-degree and a 120-degree that you can purchase as additional extras. We have a remote control for the standard Vario range, and this is just a nice little feature that allows you to set things up from ground level, so you don't have to pay an installer to go out and go up a pole and open the power supply and adjust the power levels or adjust the photocell sensitivity. You can all do it from ground level, so it's nice and easy and simple and very quick. And one very other quick little feature on the Vario units there is an LED status indicator on the base of the unit. So that basically gives you 3 LEDs, green, amber, and red, so you know that there is a problem with the unit. If there's a red LED, if it's green, everything's working fine. So it means that a guy can walk around site. This is excellent for commissioning purposes. So if your installation manager is walking around site, he looks around, he has 100 lamps to check on, he sees green lights everywhere, he knows everything's working, or if there's a red lamp, it means that, right, we have to pull that light down. So it means that you don't have to send someone up a pole to every illuminator to pull it down to check it. So very quick and very easy. So the next thing is Vario IP. So this is the main kind of part of the presentation and the main product range and the main integration with Access that we want to talk about. So we launched the Vario range, I said, about 3 years ago, and then we took the Vario range to the next level by about 18 months ago, as launching it as maybe 2 years ago, as an IP controllable illuminator. And we've also now added a PoE power. So you have one cable that can provide power and controllability. So very easy to install. So why use network lighting? So it basically allows you to control your light exactly how you would control any other device on your network, your cameras or your PIR or alarms or anything like that. Very easy to set up, very easy to adjust from anywhere effectively. So for remote monitoring, it means that you don't have to send guys out to site to make adjustments to the power level of the illuminator, if you need to adjust the photocell, lots of different things. Means you can have instant response. So like I say, if someone is watching or monitoring a camera and something happens, you can turn your light levels up or turn them down or turn them off completely make them flash if you want to scare somebody off. You can improve your images. So I mentioned before about if someone's too close to the camera or the light's too powerful and it's whiting out the scene, you can turn the light levels down. Individual group control. So if you have a large site and you need car park lighting and building lighting and perimeter lighting and you want different sets of lights to do different things, you can do all that. And it's very easy to operate on a large scale. There's two levels of control. There's a very simple web interface that you can dial into just through the IP address or use a Raytec discovery tool. Or there's the platform integration, which we will speak about with regards to access. So there's a brief look at the web interface. So what does this allow? This allows very easy, simple access so you can take control of the lamp, turn it off and on, adjust the power levels. There's a boost function, so if you wanted to boost the power of the light for, I think it boosts for up to a minute, so gives you a bit more juice. And then also a deterrent function as well, so which you'd mainly use for white light, where you would flash to kind of let someone know they're being watched or raise an alarm. You can also, in the settings section up here, you can do group control, you can trigger by a third-party input, you can override the photo cell, lots of different things. And then from a maintenance and point of view, there's also diagnostics. So you can dial into the lamp from anywhere so you can check if there's a problem. So if your maintenance guy calls you and says, I think there's a problem with the lamp on the west gate, you can dial into it from your office and say, yeah, it's had its power cut, or no, it seems to be working fine, etc. And as we take the range further and introduce new features, it's very easy just to update the software. Just a couple of examples of how you can use it. So you can tailor your lighting for better images, for energy efficient solutions. So if there's you have your light set up and then you have a trigger, whether it's a PIR or a camera, when a target gets to a certain zone, you can turn the light levels down to 20%, just so this can help with things like facial recognition, better pictures. So allows you to be a bit more clever with your lighting and a bit more dynamic with the control. As I mentioned before, operate large sites. So we've got an example here of perimeter lighting down the side. So if you wanted all your white lights on the perimeter to be switched off until triggered, as soon as someone touches the fence, you could turn them on. All your car park lighting at 20%, and then when a car comes on scene, boost to 100%. Gateway lighting. So there's lots of different things you can do. So this is an example of a power station, obviously, but you can get very clever with your lighting and do different things and trigger them in different ways. So ACAP. So we took the IP lighting to, we've started to integrate it with other solutions, so VMS providers, but we've also integrated it and created an ACAP plugin, which allows you to directly control your lighting from your camera. So it's direct communication between camera and illuminator. So why use ACAP? It's first of all for small edge installations. There's no VMS provided. It doesn't need any VMS, so it's very simple. You can just have simple commands from the camera to tell the light what to do. It means that you obviously with an access camera, there's lots of features that you can integrate it with, whether it's other ACAP features or inbuilt features, motion detection, cross-line detection, audio detection. You can control your lighting all through this. Again, you can control individually in groups. So one camera can control 100 lamps on site effectively, or one camera can speak to multiple lights and make multiple lights do different things. Multiple cameras, so if you've got 3 or 4 cameras on site, can speak to the same lamp and tell it to do different things. So yeah, there's lots of different kind of cross. You can that says perfectly multiple zonal triggers, so you can do different things with different cameras. You can integrate. It works with IR and white light, so you can have a mix of both, and it allows you to be. I say quite importantly, it allows you to use your lighting only when and where you need it, so you can conserve your running costs, the lifetime of the unit, you're not wasting energy, saving money, so it allows you to be a bit more clever and intelligent with how you use your lighting. A good example here, so lighting all on 100% down in a sterile zone, maybe at a prison or somewhere like that. Someone approaches the fence line, camera detects flashing lights, so a security guard would see this happening, knowing that someone was on site or someone is where they shouldn't be. Very easy to do, very simple to do. Again, I think I mentioned this example before. So all of the lights in your car park with your cameras are at 20% when no one is there. When a car enters the car park and a license plate is detected by the camera, or just motion is detected by the camera, all the lamps can boost up to 100%. So it just means that huge savings in running costs. So nothing's running on 100% all the time, and you can just only light to a safe level with a low running cost, for example, 20%, and then boost it when and where it's needed. Another important thing to think is don't just limit this to integration with Access cameras. We had a big conference in the UK last week, and the Access guys had the Raytec lighting hooked up to the camera, the door camera station, and the Access control, and it just allows you to be a bit more clever. Good example, the guys had it. So doorbell station, ring the doorbell, light turns on, so it means the camera can see someone. So perfect situation if it's a doorway to a building and you wanted to see who was ringing the doorbell. You can have a little white light from Vario turn on. Again, Access control demonstration the guys showed last night, a card entry system. So scan the card. If it's a good card, light turns on, lets you in. If it's a bad card, it can flash so that someone on reception knows that there's a problem or something like that. We've even done systems before with red and green Vario units, so that we've done it before with license plates. So good license plate, green, Vario switches on, bad license plate, red, Vario switches on. So it means that you can give visual alarms to people. So a very brief summary of ACAP. So it's direct communication between the Access device and the Raytec Illuminator. It's very easy to set up and adjust. You've got flexible options of using infrared and white light together. So you could have your infrared on, monitoring around the scene. When audio is picked up, you could turn on white light so the Access camera can see what's going on. Allows more intelligent lighting control, as I mentioned before, so you can use your lighting when and where you need it, save money, save costs, save energy consumption. And it's best of breed, so Access and Raytec are the world leaders at what they do, and it's obviously it's a good indication of us working very close together and developing solutions that make it easier for you guys out in the field. So not only are you getting great pictures at night, but you're also allowed to, you've also got the capacity to integrate your solutions and make them simpler to use, and which is better for you guys as well. So a couple of the other resources, just to let you guys know about that you may or may not know that we have. So we've got a lighting design team at Raytec. So if you're ever working on a project and you think, I need some help with this, and what lights should I use where, and I could do with some visual examples of how this is going to look to show my customer, we have a design team at Raytec that can help you out with this. We have we can do 3D designs for white light, and we can also do I'm trying to think of the correct word, but it's almost we can do examples of what infrared pictures are going to look like, and what illuminators will be best for the scene. So we can do that as well using this software. And we've also just launched a lighting design app. So this is now available on iPad, Android, and will be very soon available as a desktop version as well. Very simple. You insert your location on Google Earth, and then you drag your illuminators onto the scene, and then you can export your design afterwards, and it gives you a kit list of exactly what illuminators you need. And you can simply move the illuminators around the scene to cover the areas you need. So if you need to cover this roadway, you can mount and position your lamps down that scene as well. So very simple to use, very easy to use. Like I say, that's free of charge. Raytec website, if you don't know it, lots of things available on the Raytec website. All the videos I showed you before available on the Raytec website. We have lots of resources, downloadable resources available for you. So product guides, we've just launched a brand new lighting standard. So for if anyone wants to get it a bit deeper into understanding lighting, it's all about Raytec recommending exactly what on-scene levels should be for your cameras to achieve good pictures. So yeah, if you want one of them, please email me and I can send you one of them. That's no problem at all. But yeah, so there's lots of different things on here. Product selector, so very quick and easy to use. You need to go 100 meters at 30 degrees. The product selector will spit out a couple of products for you to use. But yeah, lots of stuff to use on there, so feel free to look at that. Some online resources. The best one, in my opinion, for you guys to focus on is our YouTube channel. We have lots of information on there, lots of test videos with the Access guys, integration on showing how ACAP works. So if you need helps and tips on that, you can do that as well. And like I said, we have the Twitter and LinkedIn for more of announcements, case studies, that kind of stuff as well if you want to have a look at them. So in summary, just to go over, so high quality cameras with high quality lighting equals high quality nighttime images. So that's what we want. It's what we want you all to know. So yes, if you're spending lots of money on your cameras, and we understand that lighting is expensive, it is an accessory, and it's often one of the last things thought about in a budget for these kind of projects. But it will improve your pictures at night. It is expensive, so don't waste it. Use lighting when and where it's needed. Try to get a bit more clever with it. Speak to Raytec, see if there's a way that you can I do this? Can I use this much light? Can I get away with using a smaller unit? So very simple to use. Like I say, sorry, very simple to ask us. We're more than happy to help you guys. And of course, the main thing about this presentation was to talk about the integrated solutions and how you can get more from your lighting systems with your cameras that may already be on site, or with the cameras that you'd already decided to use, your Access cameras, and it still allows you to save money. So yes, there's the initial outlay of paying for the lighting, but you will get better pictures and you will get a lot more control and flexibility of your installation. So that was all, just like I say, a very brief presentation on lighting. I can go in as much detail as you guys want, so if anyone has any more questions or problems or anything like that, please feel free to contact me directly. My details are at the bottom of the screen here, or you can also find the contact information on the Raytec website. And thank you very much for your time. So if there's any questions.
Yes, please ask some questions. You have the box there. Keep on writing, and Deck will answer them. Oh, we have one already, as you can see.
Oh, where's it gone?
I can just.
Oh, sorry, I can't. Sorry, Christian, it's just...
Okay, I will read it then loud. Hello, do you have a list of all... Yes, do you see it already?
Yeah, I can see it. Do you have a list of all commands of your ACAP? Yes, we do. I can provide that to you. So it's within the ACAP plugin, you also get a folder, like an installation guide, and it shows you exactly what you can make the illuminator do. So obviously, in terms of what devices or how you trigger the lamp, what access device you trigger it with, that's up to you guys, but there are a list of things to do. So like you say, you can turn it on at a set power level, you can make it flash. So yeah, but I can provide that list to you. That is for that.
We have another questions.
Yeah, sorry, the box is a little bit small for me. Can you read that question out for me, Christian? Sorry, the box is a little bit small.
Any plans of making a plugin for SketchUp to use with the Axis SketchUp plugin?
We've had this before, and we'd love to get that. It's obviously the initial. We have the software for two lighting design programs called Reality and Relux, but we have had the question about SketchUp before, so I think it'll definitely be one that we will be targeting within the next 12 months, I would think. So I would watch this space with that one. Hopefully it is something that we can get sorted, because we've had that request before, and it would be a nice one just so that you can drag your Raytec Illuminators into your design, just so. But yeah, hopefully that will be something that we release soon. I'll take that back to the directors again and let them know that we've had that question. But yeah, thanks for that, because it is something that we've had before. So hopefully it is something that we'll see in the near future.
It's absolutely fantastic to see that someone is using SketchUp. Another question: can you control these lights over the Wi-Fi?
Wi-Fi. We haven't got that in terms of Wi-Fi controllable lights yet, but weirdly enough, at the conference last week, one of the Access guys was one of the access guys in the UK was mentioning it, that would be a great idea for the next step of Vario, of having Wi-Fi controllable lighting. So nothing yet, but again, it will be a very simple kind of next step for the IP controllable lighting. So I assume that with that question you mean a Wi-Fi device inbuilt in the lamp rather than over the network. But yes, it's hopefully something that we'll have very soon. But these are the questions we've had there about SketchUp and Wi-Fi are questions that have been posed to us before, so it is interesting to get them again to show that these guys it's similar kind of questions we're getting in the market. We've also had similar questions about having a PoE input on the side of the illuminator, so the camera could go in on the side of it so that you'd only have one Cat5 cable coming out the back of the lamp. We keep getting that question asked all the time, so our engineers are looking at if there's a viable solution for that kind of that issue or that proposal, but obviously we've got to try and figure out of how to transfer power and data for two devices down one Cat5 cable, which could become a nightmare. So we do keep getting that question. So any other questions? That might be it for now, perhaps.
Yep. Well, let's give another minute. I have a question for you. Where can people buy your stuff?
So Raytec, like Axis, will operate through distribution. So the best thing for you to do is to contact Raytec, and we can put you in contact with our distribution partners in certain territories. So we normally, for example, the guys in the Nordics, we have ADI, EET, and we also have some a couple of smaller distributors in certain countries in the Nordics as well. But yeah, so we do. Please feel free to contact us, and if we can put you in contact with the right people. I've just had a question there from that says, are the IP lighting PoE? Yes, that's correct. So we offer them in two sizes. So there's a version that is 25 watts, which is the Vario I4 and W4 size. So that's IP controllable with PoE power. So that'll work with 25 watt injectors, or sorry, 30 watt injectors or mid-spans, or however you're powering. And we also have a larger unit, which is the I8 and W8 size, which requires 50 watts of power. So there's obviously no specified standard at 50 watts yet, but it will work with certain mid-spans and injectors. But always speak to Raytec first about that, and we can recommend certain models that we know work with our higher power PoE units. So I think it's PoE plus plus or super PoE or whatever they're calling it at 50 watts now.
Good. Okay. Any other questions? 30 seconds. Time to write something.
But if you, like I say, if you don't have a question now, please feel free to email me after the presentation or give me a call, and I'll be happy to help.
Yeah. Let's do it like this. It's already a little bit over time, so I first of all very much thank you to you, Jack, for an excellent presentation. I hope the attendees liked it also as much as I did. And to all of you, thank you very much for this Friday. We'll see you next Friday again, and have an enjoyable day and a nice weekend. Goodbye to you all.
Thanks, guys.
See you next Friday. Bye-bye.